I've received some requests asking me to share how I make this beautiful but very intricate ornament with my Glowforge. And did I say without going crazy and losing my mind? Look at all the detail in this ornament. It is gorgeous. So whether you're purchasing this ready-made ornament from my website and just want to see how it's made, or if you're a Glowforge or laser owner of your own and you would like to make detailed Christmas ornaments without losing your mind, I'm going to share with you all of the products that I use to make this and show you just exactly how I put this together. And I am still very sane because it is so simple. These products I'm going to share are going to save you so much time and so much headache when dealing with detailed pieces like this. So if that sounds interesting to you, this is the video for you, so stick around. I'm Stephanie and I've been running an online handmade business, ILYB Designs, since 2014. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a little bit of crafter's ADD, so if you take a look at my website, you'll see I make a variety of different types of custom items. So I created this channel so I can share with you my crafty tips and tricks and provide you with inspiration for projects you can complete at home. So come craft with me. And as always, consider subscribing to my channel and like and comment on a video when you see something you like. Now, let's get on with today's video. The key to making detailed designs like this is all in the prep work. I like to paint entire boards before putting in my Glowforge rather than painting after the design is lasered. You just want to make sure the paint has completely dried before lasering. If possible, I like to let them dry overnight, but I have also let them dry for just a couple hours and that's worked too. For this ornament, I'm using this metallic paint in Festive Red by DECO Art that I bought at Michael's. It comes in this small 2-ounce bottle, or you can also get it in a larger 8-ounce bottle, which is a better deal if you'll be needing a lot of it. I like to apply it with a foam brush. This is 1/8 inch MDF that I'm using, and I'm just going to give the entire board a coat of the red paint. Now you can see here I recently started just pouring my paint directly on the board instead of using a paper plate or paint tray. It's just less cleanup I found, and who wants more mess to clean up? Not me! Now, sometimes this metallic paint looks a little streaky, so I just put a little more in those spots. So just paint until you have the coverage that you want. Okay, so my red board is drying, and now I'm going to prep my white board. Now, this is a new product that I just found, and I have to tell you, it is amazing. It saves me so much time. It is my favorite new material to work with. It is a piece of MDF, and on the back side, it's just a regular MDF. It's 1/8 inch thick. It also comes in 1/4 inch too, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think it does. Then the top of it is already white, and I don't know if the camera is going to show this, but it has, there you go, can you see that? It's got a really nice finish. It has a little bit of texture, a little bit of a sheen to it, but it is so nice. And this way it saves you time from having to paint a white board. So anytime if you're making a sign and you want white lettering or something, in the past I've been painting MDF boards white and then you have to wait for them to dry. This is ready to go and it works amazing. So I'm going to prep this to create the ornament. And the first thing that I'm going to do is take this roll of 3M double-sided tape. Now let me show you here. There's a couple different kinds. This one is 467 MP. And it is pricey. I cannot remember where I got this or how much, but I will be sure to link that in the description box whenever I find out where I got it and how much. Like I said, it's pricey, but it's a huge roll, so it should last for quite a while. And I'm telling you, the time it saves, this is so worth it. Pay the extra money for it. I am very budget friendly, and I was determined that I was going to get by without this and just use an adhesive glue, like a super glue. Oh my gosh, you can't live without this if you do a lot with your laser. So I'm gonna prep my board, and I want the 3M tape to be on the back because this is gonna be the front side of my ornament. So I want the tape to be on the back so that once it is cut out, it's all ready to be glued down. So I'm gonna take my roll. Now it is pretty sticky, so I haven't found the absolute best way to work with this yet. It's a little tricky. I will show you what I've been doing, where I roll out the 3M tape, and then I'm going to set my board on top of it instead of trying to roll it onto it. This is definitely not perfect because I am getting bubbles, but I'm going to show you what I've done to fix that. So I'm pushing down, trying to push down from one side to the next to prevent bubbles. Oops. And I see I was crooked there. Now this is the part if anyone has tips, I'd love to have them, because whenever I'm cutting it off, it is sticking to my scissors. Cause like I said, the sticky part is right here. And it's a little tricky to cut with the scissors. I'm trying to just let it, like, if you can let your scissors run across like that, that's actually the best that I found so far. So that it doesn't get tape on your scissors. All right, then I'm gonna turn over. Ooh, and I did it pretty good this time. You wanna be sure that you don't get bubbles. See, like, sorry, the light there. There's a little bit of bubbles, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some kind of scraper tool. This I found is the absolute best one. It's from Dollar Tree and it's in the kitchen section. It's a stainless steel scraper and it works so great. So you just want to push out any bubbles that may have occurred. And I'm pushing it out, and wow, that's working really nicely. It's getting it really flat. The first time I did this, I had a huge bubble that I just couldn't get out. And you don't want that for when the laser is cutting. Turn it around. But yeah, this, while pushing from one side to the next, as you lay this down, I think really worked well. I didn't get the giant bubble. Okay, wow, that worked way better than the first time. So it is all flat. There's no bubbles in there. But if you ever do get a bubble, what I did, if you ever do get a bubble that you need to get rid of and you can't push it out with the scraper tool, I just took a very sharp X-Acto knife, and then I would puncture a hole where the bubble was and then smooth it out with the scraper again. But this time, like I said, it worked super, super good. All right, so now I have my 3M on the back, and you see I didn't get it quite straight, so I should just cut that off of the edge. I didn't lay it down straight enough, but that's okay. I'll just trim it off. And now I want to prep the front. So the ornament I'm making, it's going to be scoring on the top part. So if I put this in the laser like this without anything on it, then I'm going to have to clean off the scorch marks after I pull it out of the laser. And just to prevent that, because I am making a ton of ornaments, that's one of my big sellers every year. So I don't want to have to spend the time cleaning it when it comes out of the laser. So I'm going to take this masking tape, and this came from uscutter.com. And this whole huge roll was about $40. And again, I'll link that in the description box below where I got this. And this is to mask the top of my board. And that way the charring will go onto the masking. I just peel the masking off and my ornament is all nice and clean. So I'm going to do the same method where I roll out the masking tape, and then I'm going to lay my board on top. This is what I've always done when I'm putting transfer tape on my vinyl pieces when I work with my silhouette. So if you're a silhouette user and you've always done that, because I know that's a common way to do it, this is just kind of the same technique. All right. So, whoops, it keeps rolling back. All right. So again, I want to try and prevent getting bubbles. So I'm going to lay it down on the end. And watch what I'm doing. This is what I did with the 3M. I'm kind of pushing down a little bit on each side. Just, I think that this kind of helped not get bubbles. Whoops, what am I doing? I was putting it on the 3M side. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Flip it over. Okay, I'm wanting the masking on the white part. Thankfully, it wasn't sticking to this. Okay. So setting it on the edge, and I'm going to push down side to side, trying to prevent bubbles. And then I'm going to cut off the excess. This is much easier to cut. It's not as sticky as the 3M. Now I'm going to flip it over. Ooh, I got lots of bubbles on there. You do not want that for when that's in the laser. I hear that is how fires start whenever the transfer tape is not adhered real closely to your material. And thankfully I have not started a fire, and I don't want to start a fire. So I'm just going to scrape it down and get it all smooth so there's no bubbles. And if you work towards the outside, from the center to the outside, that works the best. So you're basically just pushing out all of the bubbles that you see. And because this is a light tack, you can also peel it up. Since I just have kind of a lot of bubbles there, I'm going to peel it up a little bit and then kind of work this way so that there's no bubbles laying down. And I like to go over it several times just to be sure that it is really adhered. And now you can see it's on there flat. It's adhered really well. There's no bubbles, so it's going to cut all the way through, and hopefully there's no fires started. It should be fine. I've done this quite a few times now and not had a problem. All right, so now my whiteboard is prepared. It's got the masking on top and it's got the 3M on the bottom. So now I'm ready to put it into Glowforge and start cutting out my ornament. So now both parts of my ornament have been lasered. The back piece is ready to go, and I just need to do a little more to the front piece. Now, as you notice, the front piece, you see all of that tan charring look to it. It's not that nice, pretty white that the board was when we started with. So that is the transfer tape on there. And so all I have to do, I take an X-Acto knife and I'm just going to peel up the masking tape off of this. Now, because this design is so intricate, it takes a little bit to get it off, but I'm telling you, it is worth it to not have to clean all of the ornaments. It didn't work great this time, but sometimes I get a pretty big piece off and then I just have to work with the little bits, and I'll show you a way to make that quicker. I'm just trying to get the bigger pieces off right now. Now I'm going to take a piece of packing tape and I'm just going to stick it on there, kind of rub where some of the little bits of the transfer tape are still left on, and it peels it right up. Some people use duct tape, but I'm afraid that the duct tape might be too strong and might actually peel up some of the layer of white that is on this MDF. So I've just been using the packing tape because it's not super sticky and it's working just fine. And like I said, usually I get bigger pieces off than what I did this time, but there it is. And now it is all nice and white and clean. Oh, I see I have a couple more spots there, and I got it. All right, so now that is off. And on the back is the 3M tape. So what I'm going to do is peel off the 3M tape, and then I will attach it onto here. If you don't use the 3M tape, I will tell you one time I forgot to put the 3M tape on before I lasered, and then I had to take my super glue, and with all these tiny spots, you can imagine how difficult it is to get super glue on all of these little teeny tiny spots. It's a pain to work with. So that's why I say this 3M tape, you might not want to use it for everything, but definitely when dealing with intricate things, I highly suggest using it instead of having to deal with super glue. Now this comes off a little bit better in one piece, mostly one piece. I guess because it's just a little thicker. So I got most of it off. I just have a couple spots where I have to use my X-Acto knife to peel it off. All right, so I peeled it all off, and now I'm ready to stick it on. And you just want to make sure, I like to start with the circle part and really line that up, because once you push this down, it is down. So you need to make sure you get it all lined up. And so I'm kind of holding that together there, and then push along the sides of my ornament and down here just to make sure they're lining up. All right, I got it lined up, and now I'm going to push down and just put pressure on it, and that gets it to adhere. And if, like I said, if you mess up, there's no going back. This is on there. It's not coming off. So it is stuck down. And there you go. Then all you have to do is add your string and a bow if you like. And here is the finished product with the string. I just used twine for the hanger, and then a ribbon, just a little ribbon tied in a knot and glued to the top. I hope these tips were helpful to you today, so when you are working with intricate lasered ornament designs, you can do it with much more ease and much less headache. I've included the links in the description box below to where I've purchased the materials I mentioned in this video in case you want to try them out. If you have any other tips I may have missed, please leave them in the comments below. I love reading them and learning from you. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.